Hello, it's Peter Merrick in La Jolla, California, and today we're going to be talking about the boldest statement that I've ever made yet on these videos, and that is demographics are destiny. Yes, that is a bold statement, but why do I say that? I say that because we do not know what the next technology is going to be and the impact it's going to have. For example, when the cell phone was introduced to general use in 1980, it was predicted by 2000 there would only be 1 million cell phones worldwide used. We all know that we can't live without our cell phones. So we don't know the breakaway technologies. We don't know the next political crisis that's going to happen. We don't know, and we cannot predict things like COVID. However, there is one thing that demographers do know and can predict, and that is human beings at certain stages in their life do different types of activities. I know that's very strong when I say that, but yes, let's think about that. When we were babies, we were consumers. Someone else was taking care of us. We were wearing diapers. We were being fed. We were not adding to society other than giving cute little smiles. When we entered school, we were being educated. Either the state or our parents or someone was actually paying for us to be tooled. So eventually, then when we finished high school or university or college, we would enter the workforce and prepare to take over from the generations that were ahead of us to become its leaders, its huge consumers, and its huge savers. So we would continue that circle. So let's look at what happens when someone enters the workforce. So they're no longer just a consumer, they also are becoming a producer, but they're also starting to consume more than anywhere before in their lives. Because do you know advertisers, they look for demographics between 18 and 54 because they know that people before 18 spend very little and they're not the decision makers, and people after 54, they don't spend as much, and they definitely don't save as much. So let's look at the 20-something. This individual goes out, gets a job, starts contributing, paying taxes. They are now consuming. They get an apartment, they go and get fridges, stoves, microwaves, they buy couches, they're consuming. Much of this is based on debt. They receive debt from older generations who are at the point where they're no longer consuming. They are savers. So this continues. They buy houses, they buy bigger houses, they have debt. They educate their children. And then something miraculously happens, and they've discovered this. Around 48 years old, people stop making big purchases. And I'm going to go and share with you a real example. I'm old enough to remember that when I was in my teens and early 20s, that we were hearing that Japan was going to become the superpower. They were the most productive population ever to be seen on the planet. And there was a reason for that. You want to know what the reason was? They had a baby boom, a very small one, but most of their population was older than America. They did not have children, these baby boomers. So what happened was they had what you would call a demographic dividend, meaning you had so many workers who were productive and they weren't being pulled out of the workforce taking care of young children or taking care of the old. And then something happened in the early 1990s in Japan. The average population, the median age, hit 48, and they stopped saving and they stopped buying, and in essence for the last 30 years Japan has just stagnated. It has not grown. Real estate crashed, investments crashed, everything crashed, and it had to do with demographics. So why do I share that with you? Well, let me continue. When someone gets older, when they pass that magic age of 48, they realize that there's more days behind them than ahead of them, and they have to start preparing for the winters of their lives. So every extra penny that they have, they sock away, and they're trying to get the most money that they possibly can for their money. So they're lending that money out and they're investing in society, and they put every single extra cent away. So this is the time that the baby boomers are putting as much away as they possibly can, because something magical happens, which is not so great traditionally for society, but I'm going to share with you how it can be great. As soon as a person reaches retirement or they're transitioning out, the day they retire, they stop being savers and they happen to be net spenders. They've acquired so much in their storage house of wealth, now they're distributing it. And a lot of it's unconscious. I'm going to give you a perfect example. Did you know that the oldest state in the Union is Florida? And about 23 to 25% of the population of Florida happen to be over the age of 65. And these people are net spenders. So you know what that means? Florida is a net spender within the Union. It is actually more money is flowing out of Florida buying services than actually that Florida is producing. And this is about to happen worldwide. And why do I say that? Because after World War II in the West, we had the largest baby boom in the world. And many countries except the United States and the developed world did not have the baby boomers did not have children. So these people are about to transition out of work and they're going to become net spenders. Now, this is so important because as they save so much and as returns are so low, what's happening is money managers around the world have taken a certain percentage of that money and they've put it away for private equity. And there's about $5 to $7 trillion of private equity firms. These are companies that are, these are money managers who are looking and scouring the earth for valued companies. So if you are a business owner, this is the greatest time ever to sell your business, because this is the time that all that money that the baby boomers around the world have put together and saved, it's available and they're willing to go invest it in private companies. So if you have a private company, this is the best time to sell because this is the most you'll ever receive. And I'm going to share with you why. Because all these baby boomers who are huge savers right now, that in 2022, the majority of them are going to be eligible for retirement or what's traditional retirement, they're going to want to start liquidating things. And the problem is my generation. I happen to be a Gen Xer. I was born in 1969. The pill was introduced in 1962. It became widely adopted in the West by 1964. And the birth rate just dropped. And it did not pop up again in the United States until 1980. So my generation, Generation X, is a third smaller than the baby boom. What that means is there's less of us to actually buy those McMansions, to buy those businesses, and to buy those investments off of the baby boom. So if you are a baby boomer, I invite you to contact me. And the reason why is we can work together so you are not the person in the musical chair when people actually turn the age 65 and start liquidating that doesn't have a chair. Because I'm going to make this observation, this prediction, that many business owners who think they've got a great business, who are looking to transition and putting it off for tomorrow, they won't have a seat. But if you take action right now, there is a huge possibility, because of the demand and the amount of money, you will be able to exit with success on your terms. I want to thank you. And if you like this video, please like, please share, make a comment, and please follow. You guys are awesome. And remember, demographics are destiny. And the question is, how are you going to go and control your individual destiny? Have a great day.